Welcome to Wayne's World and Kelly video podcast live from my car en route to Florida. Kelly, how are you?
It's a beautiful Wednesday down here in sunny Florida. I can't believe it's finally time, man. This has been a long plan in the making, and it's finally happening.
Yeah, I think it probably started my first spring break in 1985, my freshman year in Daytona. That probably planted the seed, and then several spring breaks after that. That I do have photographic proof that I was there, but don't remember a lot. There are some clips on YouTube, but anyway, yeah. Now that I'm older and more professional,
I
please
have pictures
welcome me
of
in your group.
I have pictures of me in Daytona in 1985
Oh,
spring break.
dude,
Is that
dude.
crazy?
Yeah, that in itself is crazy. But I tell you what, to this day, I will tell you, I've been very fortunate to travel around the world, take some really great trips. I have never seen anything like that week in 1985. Every morning, I would wake up and go out by the pool. The DJ would say, and there's been another balcony death from you guys jumping from balcony. You remember that, dude?
Yeah,
Oh,
that was definitely. Well, it still happens today in Miami more than here,
okay.
where these kids just have too much of stuff. But two things happened to me in Daytona. One, I had a Ford EXP, little two-door Ford car, and I had just gotten new tires for it from Kelly Springfield. And I've got my car on the beach, and I'm trying to line my tires up so that Kelly's right. And I'm sure I was giving my girlfriend Tracy at the time a really hard time about it. So,
Yeah.
but I'm pretty sure that was the year my niece was born, Kimberly, who's now a mom herself years later, to a beautiful little boy. But and so I got to hold her for so I got to see her for spring break, which was pretty cool. That was a good uncle move.
Yeah.
But I didn't go off any balconies. But I also I'm pretty sure that was the year we saw Farrah Fawcett with Ryan O'Neal in their black Lamborghini, and everyone's looking at the car, but my brother had told me, because my brother lived in Daytona, we were freeloading at his house. Um,
Yep.
so he told us that he goes, "Oh, they're in town looking at places," because that was back when they were trying to make Orlando the next Hollywood. And that's when
Okay.
what's his name? Pulp Fiction actor.
Oh,
Um,
John Travolta.
John Travolta had bought a place. I think he bought a place
Okay.
after that there. But anyway, so I saw Farrah Fawcett through the windshield of the Lamborghini going down the beach. So that was pretty cool.
Dude, that
that
is
was pretty cool.
strong.
Yeah.
You you know the one of the brunette angels, Kate Jackson.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's got a place in my destination of New Smyrna Beach. So she lives
Really?
there. So that would be exciting if I run into her at some dump bar and say, "You want to be on our podcast?" And Kate Jackson, a former Angel, says, "Yes, I would sure like to. I've heard of Kelly Coon."
Yeah.
That'd be
Well,
fun.
actually, let me give Kate a call.
You probably, yeah, you probably have her number. You probably
uh,
stopped Farah. You probably stopped Farah and
and
said,
I said, "Hey,
"I
Farrah,
don't
can you
want
do
your number. I want Kate's."
exactly?" Yeah, that's how it
That's
went
awesome,
down.
dude.
So, but
Yeah, for
I
sure.
showed my phone for technology. So let's talk about technology for a second, because
Yeah, let's do that.
it's technology has been around, and you're about as advanced as I am. But several months ago, I got my new Volvo XC60 with the beautiful 22-inch wheels on it, and I bought it for safety, but also I just love it. I really do love the car. And talk about technology, it's crazy. It's got the autonomous driving. And I mean, it's amazing. So this morning, like a few minutes ago, I downloaded the app, and the app disappeared when I got it. So I said, you know what? I'm
Of
doing it this
course.
morning. So I downloaded the app, and now from my phone, I can open up the doors, or unlock them or lock them,
Yep.
or I can start it from my phone. Now I know a lot of people have that technology, And up north, I know it's very popular to have remote start on your car.
Yep,
Um,
it is. My partner's got it. Yep.
but I'm telling you, in Florida, and I probably should have been using it the last couple months. Not a bad idea to crank up the AC 10, 15 minutes before you hop in. So now I've
Yeah,
got
I
the
could.
now I
Yep.
loaded it towards the end of summer. So
Yeah,
it's
better
kind of
late
fun.
than never. I mean, why not do it? Why not go into a comfortable car, and get it cooled down? Like you said, up in my former area, yeah, you'd have to start the thing about 15 minutes just to get it warm to go in January. Yeah, I won't even know what that's like anymore.
Do you have remote start in your cars?
No, God, no.
Really? See, I was
No, I didn't.
thinking that you garage keep your cars.
Well, yeah, I mean, but dude, one thing you got to kind of understand about me is I can be kind of a luddite. I can be kind of stubborn. I cannot want to take advantage of some of those creature comforts just because of my Spartan-like attitude of not wanting to be a constant sissy. I can get weird like that. Seriously, I can get kind of weird like that. Like, okay, I got these creature comforts. Well, it's not good enough that I got a car. Now it's got to be climate controlled to my satisfaction before I go in. I don't know. You enjoy it.
No,
I'm
I
I'm
no,
not.
well, no, I had it available to me. I wasn't
Yeah.
enjoying it, and I have no explanation why. I'll tell you what, part of me being what's known as a Ruby, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes, and
No,
my
it's a rube,
personality,
not a ruby, isn't it? It's just called a rube.
a Ruby, like the stone.
Well, all right. Well, all right. I'll wait till we get to that topic. Sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt you, bro.
But it's kind of funny. I'm not sure what a Rube is. I'll be Googling that later. Um, so it's the personality type. So, but in my personality type, I'm always doing so many things. I'm always taking
Yep.
care of everything else except for me. And one of
I
the things
hear you.
I learned was to refine yourself and make yourself better. You have to let these things happen, especially if they're going to make your life better. Danny Johnson, did I say that yet? She's one who did training for hundreds of thousands of people. What a great transition for this. We may transition back to technology. I don't know. That's what I love about when we just start doing a freelance podcast. So, um,
Yeah.
but I don't know what. So she was in her training. She says that you learn who you are, and but more importantly, you learn who other people are. But on your own, you want to become the best personality trait of your personality traits as possible. So people like you and I, because we're both rubies, we want to take advantage of things that can make our lives better so we can have a better quality of life because we're so busy taking care of everybody else and taking care of everything that needs to happen in business, and we're go 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 go, that
Yeah.
it's okay to use some of these things, and it's encouraged. She says like you clean your own house. She says don't. You make plenty of money, or you living comfortably. Pay someone that enjoys cleaning to do it, and they benefit, and you get to free up that time that you would normally be cleaning to do something else. Little things
Yeah.
like
I'll drink
that
to
is
that.
key.
Here's to my old housekeepers for sure. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, and but there's a lot of other things we can do, like the remote start. So when you get in the car, especially when you're living in Florida, the air conditioning's going and you're comfortable and you're not sweating for the first 5 minutes driving down the road to your first appointment. No, not a bad
Amen
idea.
to that.
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea. I think you're going to convert me on this one, dude.
Yeah,
Yep.
well, I'm not converted. I'm learning. I've learned from Danny and other people and things, and then I love sharing it. But it is really true because I don't. This is kind of dangerous. It's almost like it's kind of a cool martyrdom to say I don't do that, and and you got to admit it. It's kind of a
It
martyr personality.
is. Hey, dude. I will
Yeah.
give you that. It is.
Yeah, so I'll spin over, and if we can go back to technology, I don't even know enough about technology to talk about it. I mean, here I'm doing a picture that's been on an iPhone for I don't know how many years.
That's
You
funny,
know,
dude.
so and it costs me nothing to use this.
I
So
have a
I think
couple
it's pretty
guys
cool.
doing a podcast on technology that don't
Yeah.
know anything about technology. That's freaking rich, dude.
Well,
That's
that's why
great.
I was doing more as a conversation than a learning experience.
Yeah, I hope no one's coming on here to learn from us on
Yeah.
technology.
Well, I would like to do a 10-second class on everything I know about Excel because I am the worst at Excel. And
Oh,
everybody at LGC, one of our sponsors today, which is the premier owners rep firm, and my business partners, I have that company down here in South Florida, but they all know, don't even ask Kelly to whip up a spreadsheet or
right.
anything. I don't even want to add to it.
Yep.
I usually will
No.
send it to whoever and say, "Hey, can you do this?" And
Yep.
that's something I just can't do, and I own
Yep.
that. I have tried. I've taken 2 classes on it. I've had people try to tutor me on it. It just ain't working. So,
Doesn't
but
work. Nope.
so I was doing these classes up in Northern Virginia called Jim's class. Danny Johnson, I give full credit because it's her program. And she said you can share it with people as long as you don't charge. And amazingly, someone could charge a lot for this training. It's absolutely incredible. Personally, I get much more enjoyment sharing it with people, watching the transformation of people when they do it, because it
Yep.
is. I've watched. I got to be careful here now because people I know up in the DC market that we invited everybody in our business sphere. And when I was in water damage restoration up there, I dealt with anybody that had, let me see, a building and pipes in the building that put water through it. Okay, that's everybody. So whether it was hotels, construction, apartments, condominiums, which is our world now, my big world, HOAs, everybody that lives in shelter. I mean, the only people I didn't come in contact, I was gonna say he's in the homeless, but I actually used to buy a guy a slice of pizza every day. I mean, I'm sorry, every Wednesday, um, and a bottle of water that used to sit out in front of my office in DC. So, I guess I even came in contact with homeless, although I did never invite him to the gym's class, which I probably should have. Anyway, so we did it every couple months, and when it started out with maybe, I don't know, a dozen, 15 people, and it got bigger and bigger, and people were coming back 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times and then they'd bring people in their industry with them. And it got to the point where we had to control how many people could come because we only had so much room. Um,
Wow.
but it's a 2-hour program, which we're going to be doing. And that's why I mentioned it. We're going to start it down here. I originally wanted to do it when I moved down here 4 years ago. And you're transitioning as you're going to be doing, and you're getting things rolling. And as soon as I was ready to do it, COVID hit, and you couldn't get space to do it, and people were worried about getting together, blah 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 blah.
Uh,
So finally, I said, "Come heck or high water, I'm going to make this happen." So I've got Suprema Roofing. They're a supplier for roofing materials. They have real estate here in Pompano, a beautiful old Harley Davidson dealership that has meeting rooms that they're going to let us use for free because it's
wow.
great advertising for them.
Yeah.
And then eventually we're going to start doing it in Doral too, probably because they have a location there. So, and they have all the technology. So all I got to do is walk in with my computer, and everything else I just
Nice.
plug in and go. And it's a neat system that they've done for people. But nobody else contacted them in South Florida to use them because I need to lock in all my dates for next year. So then you can talk to them. But I'm excited for it. It's going to be it's really a transformation of becoming a better you on so many levels. It's pretty wild. I just muted. From having COVID in January, I had a sinus infection now, maybe a month ago, and I
Yeah.
still have a lingering little tickle in my throat. I think it's long-term COVID. Anyway, just transitioning all over the place. But so what this gyms thing does. It's 4 different gemstones is what, and then we've all done the different personality traits to learn about who you are. Here's the big
Yep.
twist on this training. Most importantly is to learn how to communicate with the other people that you meet, and you figure out, and it's kind of a game. It's really fun to figure out what personality trait somebody is, and then you speak in their language to honor
Yeah.
and respect them.
Yep.
Super cool. And
Yeah.
in sales, we learn how to mirror each other, and and stuff. It takes it to a level that is like a PhD level of doing it. My daughter Maddie
Wow.
and I took Maddie through it because Pat Clunan, my friend up in Ohio, is the one who turned me on to it. He took all 5 of his kids through it, and before that, nobody ever brought their kids to the events because she had these big 2-3 day events. And this is just a small snippet of what she trains on. But took their kids through. Then I put Maddie through it. So anytime Maddie and I would be out, eating a lot of times, which was a lot because I don't cook, and so we go to restaurants, and she would say, "Dad, what do you think the server's personality trait is?" Or she'll say, "I think they're an emerald," or "I think they're a pearl." And anybody we come in contact with, a lot of times even she would bring it up instead of me, which I thought was super cool. But then you learn to communicate with them in their personality, and it really is just it's a great way to honor people, but it's also a great way to connect people. I use the example. Um, my first wife was Colombian and spoke Spanish. And obviously, well, not obvious, but she also spoke English perfectly. She was born in Colombia and then grew up in the United States. And she didn't look Colombian. She was half American, half Colombian. She was beautiful, is beautiful, but you wanted to look at her and go, "Oh, that's a Latina." So whenever we'd have come in contact with somebody, especially like at a restaurant, and it was a server that was Latin, and they would be talking to us, and as soon as she would talk back to them in Spanish, and then they'd speak to her in Spanish, and of course I was out. But free desserts, you know, the
Free
person
desserts.
just would light up because she was speaking their language. But when you
Yeah.
learn to speak with somebody in their personality trait, it's really super, super cool and really changes the atmosphere. And then it's even more fun when, let's say, there's 5 people in the room and there's 3 or 4 different personality traits, and you're communicating to each one in a different way to get them to understand and relate to what you're saying. It's just very, very powerful. So I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Definitely. That sounds like a lot of fun and something that is definitely in an area of interest for me.
Yeah. What's pretty cool is when you do this out of your car and you lean to your right, the sun just comes blinding into here.
Oh, I know. I know.
It's
I
pretty
know.
fun.
Sorry about that.
No, it's cool.
Yeah.
So you're driving
Yep.
down, and
Yep.
your wife's in the hotel room, and she took
Yeah.
you out to do this.
Yes. Yes.
So,
And it was kind of cool. I actually drove through Hannibal, Missouri.
oh
Hannibal,
wow,
Missouri is home to who?
Huck Finn,
Yep.
Tom
You
Sawyer,
bet.
the
Yep.
guys. We grew up with them.
Yep. Huge statue of him that um hasn't been pulled down yet. I guess we'll just give that one time perhaps. But kind of a sleepy town, but nonetheless an American literary icon, aka Huck Finn, Tom Sawyer.
Ah,
So that was the big highlight of traveling through Missouri. So now got 14 more hours. We're gonna make a stop in Atlanta, just chopping it up into 3 8-hour shifts of driving, and then the home stretch, of course, will be from Atlanta to New Smyrna Beach, landing on the 2nd of September.
nice. Couple days. What? So you drive for 8 hours and then you stop and get a
Yeah,
hotel.
yeah. I mean, I've found that. I mean, from Minneapolis to Chicago, I made that trek a lot, probably 80 to 90% of the time in my car. That's 6.5 hours. I could do that in my sleep. I
You're
kind
gonna
of
have to
find my
shift to the left. Shift to the left. Oh, there you
okay.
go. I just don't want you to blind
Yeah.
out the viewers.
Yep. No, I kind of find that 8 hours is kind of the limit. I mean, if you don't have to do it, why do it? We don't have to do it, so why do it, right?
Well,
So we can,
and you're doing it
yeah.
together, which is totally different as well.
Well, we got separate cars actually because we got our moving van is going to be there when we get there, but we still have stuff that we needed to bring, and we're going to need cars down there, right?
Right.
So yeah, so it's just it's separate cars and stuff, but it's all good. You know, we're on the home stretch, bro. 14 more
So,
hours.
so how the bathroom? Yeah, I'm home straight. How the bathroom breaks going? How do y'all do
Well, let's
that?
put it this way. I'll use the lobbies.
You go 8 hours.
Oh, the bathroom breaks. I thought you mean when I have to go when we're in the room together. Getting a little personal here. So, you know, I mean, do you want to know what I'm have on for like socks and underwear? How much more personal are we gonna get here?
No, but I'm just thinking when you're driving in one car, it's still kind of humorous if you've got somebody with you because it doesn't always coordinate properly. So you know, and sometimes you get a little frustrated going, I just pulled over an hour ago. Why didn't you go then? I didn't have to go then.
Oh,
But
yeah.
how's
I
it?
mean,
I
yeah,
think I
we
just
we
might have
just
gotten in
have the
trouble with people, but
yeah,
with two
we
cars,
just
I mean, you call each other up and go, okay, we're pulling over at the next exit.
no, dude, I'm not like that, dude. I'm not that kind of guy, you know, where I'm like, you know, hey, I'm doing this, or she is like, hey, I'm doing that. I mean, yeah, we'll talk regarding if we wanna get together and and eat or whatever, like break it up, say at the 4 hour point. But as far as any kind of like, well, I'm gonna stop right now and I'm gonna get some water. What do you need? No, we're not like that, dude.
Well, you're not driving in tandem.
Okay, can we talk about something else right now other than my bathroom and driving habits, please?
I find it
I
is
am
completely
getting
fascinating. It's been a long time since I've
what?
been married. If I get
Well,
married again, I'm going to need to know this stuff. Although I'm never leaving here, so
yeah. No, trust me, you don't if you're looking for any kind of relationship advice from me, you might as well ask me how to do an Excel spreadsheet too.
oh my gosh, this I love it when we go off the rails. This is
Yeah, we're
great.
off the rails right now. It's fun, dude.
Uh, but we've had some great guests in the past. We got some great guests lined up. We didn't do a guest today because with you driving and everything, we thought it would be a little bit challenging. It probably would have been as challenging, but I was a little paranoid and I didn't
Yeah,
want
no,
to
that's
make it
cool, dude.
difficult for anybody. But
Yep.
but my golly, we've had some good people on, and it's really fun when people come up to me and say, I listened to this show or I listened to that one. And I had a couple of people go, wow, that one you did with Derek Holland, you know, when you told us it was 55 minutes, I stalled to even watch it. But once I started watching, I really, really enjoyed it. You know,
Yeah.
and it's fun to get feedback from people. And so far, people are nice. Now people aren't that nice. I think if they didn't like one of our shows, I think they tell me. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, I
yeah.
think so. I know my circle of friends would be pretty candid about that. Um,
This
you
might
know,
be the one.
they yeah. Right. Right.
Really, guys,
Yeah,
because
no, as soon as I got to get situated too in a week or two, and then we'll figure out, like you said, we're always going to have a good lineup, and it's just a matter of sliding everybody in at the appropriate times. But we'll be doing this well into the future, dude, for
oh,
sure.
I love it. It's a highlight of the week.
Yeah,
Other highlights going to be the gyms training, which will be coming soon, so people stay tuned for that. Um, so little plug on that one.
yep.
Um, but I'm excited for it. A lot of great things are happening, I'm excited to have you just up the road. It's going to be a lot of fun having that. Um, Florida's been in business. You've definitely have been down here a lot, but it's going to be it's
Oh yeah,
nice when
yep.
this is
I
your
was
your hub.
well, it was. I mean, my biggest takeaway is going to be of actually, even though we've had our license there since 2001, we're not storm chasers or out of towners. But when I started shifting my marketing efforts heavily, it literally was Florida was the first state to open up, and I'll never forget going into my whole, going to the airport in Minneapolis, St. Paul, I literally was like one of maybe 10 people, and all 10 of us were going to Orlando. There's nobody in the airport, dude. It's like
Wow.
it was like literally like apocalypse now. And going to Florida and landing there and being around everybody, being on people like you, going to trade shows, it's like Florida was just a snapshot of what life was like prior to it ending when COVID hit. So lots of really good and unusual memories of the starting point for me beginning my journey, which ultimately will end there, being there next week. So
Right.
yeah, my takeaway. I mean, you're probably thinking, well, yeah, Wayne, I didn't miss a beat because we didn't shut down. Well, the rest of the country sure as hell missed a beat, brother. So
Yeah, and
every time I would, you know,
I can't relate. I mean, I really can't.
right.
I wasn't traveling out of state. I stayed here. They shut
Yep.
down our beaches. I can't. It's like the faint memory, but for like 6 weeks, I thought it was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. They had
Oh my
police
God. Yeah.
and
Let's
tape.
take away outdoor activity, right?
Yeah,
I mean, right. So even Florida fell victim to the events, albeit much less
yeah.
than everybody else.
It was a few minutes as
Yeah.
opposed to, but it
As
was really
opposed
weird.
to, yeah,
The ocean is the purification system of the earth. That's the way God
dude,
designed it.
right?
So it's salt
Exactly.
air. Salt air is incredible. I could talk for
Yeah.
hours about the purification system
Uh,
of
uh,
and
amen.
and you're telling me I can't go over to it. But fortunately, I live near where the private beaches are. So, it's funny. We'd have a group of us on the beach, and
Yep.
the cops would show up on their four wheels. I'm like, what a great job that is. And they go, how you guys doing?
Yep.
Y'all good? Yeah, we're good. Okay. And they take off. And they'd ask us,
Right.
weirdly, they'd say, are you local? And I'm like, what if I'm a tourist? I'm not, I mean, what difference does it make? But it was such a minute. And I cannot relate. When I was back up in DC twice for the first time in years, in the last month, and people were still had COVID stories, and it was still an issue, and the impact, they were still coming out of it, which was insane.
Well, dude,
So,
it's my understanding that the Illinois governor, Governor Pritzker, extended emergency powers yet again. So, like you and I always talked about, we're going to do our best to keep the show nonpartisan and be
right.
respectful. But just my response to that is, okay, what emergency? I understand that there was some times that we were going through. I get that. I'm not saying it wasn't a factor, wasn't real, whatever. Everybody needed to do what they wanted to do. But I think most are getting back to normal, but yet they call it lockdown Illinois.
Yeah,
And
they
again,
yeah, they want the
it's
power.
just different.
Could you imagine
Right, but yep.
have DeSantis and Pritzker on a
Right.
stage, one
Well,
on one?
yep, yep.
How
It's
incredible would that be?
well, it's different. So anyway, to be able to be a resident of Florida, and again, like I just explained, it all started, over a year and a half ago when it quote unquote opened up and everybody else was shut down. So yeah, it's like a movie, dude. It's just like the Matrix, just weird. But that's probably another topic for another show for another time.
Do you know who's really excited to have you down here?
Who's that?
Dawn Miller
Oh,
of
Dawn. Oh, of the paving lady.
yeah,
Once again, Dawn, we never get tired of giving you a shout out because you are a faithful
one of our
listener.
sponsors of the show, along with
Yeah,
LGC. You know, the premier.
awesome. I want to give a shout out to hope I'm saying her last name right. Is it Peggy Vivas from Nouveau Elevator?
I don't know how you say her last name. I've only known her for years.
Yeah, she used to work for you.
Yeah, with me. I don't like to say
With
for
you.
me. Yeah, but
Okay.
Peggy's wonderful. She's she really is a special person. I mean, what a
Yep.
person. People meet her and they're like, I don't know what it is about her, but she is just an amazing human being, and she really has. I mean, the first time I met her, I thought the same thing. I mean, she really is
Yep.
just an amazing human being, and a huge
So
heart,
there's
very smart, very educated, but down to earth and just, yeah, wonderful person. And yeah, Nouveau Elevator, she's become one of their shining stars. They have a lot of them. They got Joey, which we like to call him Joey Bag of Donuts, and then Robert Jr. So yeah, they're a new company that came into the South Florida a year ago, and wow, they've really done a great job joining in. One thing I'll tell you about South Florida that I've learned is the area really appreciates good people and good service and good products. I mean, it's really, it's nice to see the way South Florida embraces people. I think they're just so used to it. You know, Dawn from the Paving Lady is a third generation Floridian.
okay.
Most of us are interlopers. I am, you are soon to be.
Yep.
And I never really thought about it, but Florida and South Florida is a very welcoming to new people coming in.
Yep.
Some markets probably aren't so much like that, but you know, and Nouveau's done a really good job of doing it the right way. I like
Yep.
to think that, you know, with LGC, we were in the market, but now we're in the market as our own company. So it was a different
Yep.
transition, but we're way over time, but this has been a blast.
Okay,
I really
dude.
didn't think it was going to be. I mean, I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and sign off. I'm going to keep you on after I shut down. So I want to share
Okay.
something with you. It's pretty interesting. I've never done that before.
All right.
But listen, we love everybody. I'm excited to have you down here as everybody else is. And we'll see you next week for a great new show.
Catch up with everybody. Thanks, Kel.